Alright, this is the plane design thing, where we can build our custom plane. So what are we going to build? We are going to build a little thing I'm going to call the flying brick. And let's not load default. Now, these are the plane models available to us. The Balmoral, as you can see, very sluggish. The Brigand, which is sluggish, but not as bad as the Balmoral. The Devastator, which is all around. These improve, of course, when we fit engines and armour. The Kestrel, which is another bomber type. And the Peacemaker, which is a dogfighting type. So the first plane we're going to design is going to be a Brigand. The engine, we're going to have a Pratt & Whitney R400. Now you see, the top speed increases considerably with each. But the reason we want an R400 is these weigh more. And the Brigand doesn't need speed to function properly. It's its weakest aspect, and agility, but we can make up for it in other things. Now before allocating armour, I like to choose the guns. So let's choose for the outer wing guns it does well to have two of the heavier types. In fact, I'm going to choose hard points first. I'm going to put two on each wing, which will allow us to have 4 different things equipped. As you can see, the weight is rapidly increasing. We're going to have the rear turret, a double Carver Series 2.40 cal, and this will actually protect us quite effectively from nimbler craft. It makes things considerably easier, especially when going up against gyrocopters. Let me tell you, those things are annoying. Anyway, we are going to have on the outer wings some Colt Industries Cheyenne as the basic gun, and on the inner wings we're going to have a pair of Carver Series .40s. I'm going to put dum-dummers in here and armor piercing on here. The reason I choose inner and outer, as opposed to putting more outer on, is just to have a bit of variety in how it looks. Now, armour with the remaining weight. Nose is the most important, because we're facing enemies head-on, and that's where our engine's located. So we're going to put 30 units on there. The tail, meanwhile, wants some protection, so 20. And the wings, also 20. Seems we can take a bit more weight. Now you can take single guns here, which we managed to do with the Cheyenne. Yeah, mistake of mine, lucky I spotted that. But you shouldn't usually do that because one gun really isn't enough, and it makes sense to have converging fields of fire from 2 guns rather than one centrally positioned thing. Anyway, yeah, .60, .40, .40 makes sense. Let's give ourselves a bit more armour, I think, because this thing is called the Flying Brick for a reason. Well, we're going to put 45 units on the nose, about 40 on the tail, and 25 on the wings. £10 under the maximum limit. It's $9,916, and we got 20,900 on hand. Final thing to do is paint it, and we can paint things in selection of styles. There's a Medusa style, Fortune Hunter style, and the Black Hats. Fortune Hunters, so we're going to stick with this style. Do we want it to be red? We can adjust considerably, and this is where I go a bit crazy. Let's think, what is the role of this craft? It is to handle missions where we're making attacks against enemy Zeppelins, mostly, and protecting ourselves against enemy fighters. Can dogfight too, so it's multi-purpose. No real reason to deviate from the red, is there? Just a quest for variety. Let's mark ourselves out special. Go for a nice green colour, in fact. Nice dark green. And yeah, we need the Fortune Hunters style along somewhere. So let's go with a nice crimson-y red, so it doesn't clash too much. Whereas, yeah, this can be as black as possible. It doesn't seem to be able to get blacker than that. but that works well enough, I think. So we can adjust the symbols we have. We want to stick with at least one fortune hunter symbol. Let's call ourselves a sitting duck, why not? And these are all different state logos. Now, if we can find it, I think this is the Empire State logo, because Nathan Zachary is technically a privateer for the Empire State, so he has letters and mark from them, so he's working on behalf of them, technically. So why not have that on our tail to confuse our enemies? And so we have our first new plane, the Flying Brig. Purchase now. Delivered to our hangar. And second plane. We want something nimbler. It's going to be a peacemaker. So what should we call it? Hard to think of a good name. Well, how about a bit of tradition? Call it a Myrmidon. Despite the fact that Myrmidon in free space was a sluggish craft, which really wasn't suited to a nimble fighter role. I just prefer how it sounds to Perseus when it comes to something like this. I'm not sure why. Actually, I don't, do I? I'm very indecisive. This is going to be the Perseus. The engine, top of the line. Armour, who needs it? Right, let's check guns first. Now we don't need two sets of guns on this. Let's take some chair. We're only going to have two hard points. Reason being, we're going to rely on our guns almost entirely. I want a bit more armour than this. Okay, let's go with 30 units on the wings, 45 on the tail, and 60 on the nose. Can we get a bit more on the tail? Yes, 50. Okay, very well armoured. Lacks in kind of punch, but certainly not with these centre guns. Let's paint it. Now you can paint it in the style of whoever flies these things. So, yes. Let's go with a military theme, British. Let's make it closer to... we need some red indication, don't we? So we know... Yeah. Okay, that will do for a nice... could tone that down in a second. I was thinking, since it's based on free space, we can have a nice grey number. Smoky grey. And... highlights, why not yellow? Yeah, I think that works. For decals, stick with a nice girl. Pirates. Do you want to be a pirate? Is there anything more appealing? Speed demon. No, we're not fast enough to justify that. We can get faster, as you will soon see. A mosquito. Why not? Yeah, why not a mosquito? A mosquito Mark 6 coming later on during the Second World War, of course, but being one of the nimblest craft to fly as a bomber, made entirely of wood, in fact. Surprisingly agile and functioned well as a dogfighter. Anyway, that's the Perseus design, so ready to purchase? Yes, we are. Alright, now we actually have some variety in planes.